Public Works and getting that open. At the December meeting, it said to be open by June. We're trying to do it before then, but still working on that time frame. And coming back to the board with an item for phase 2. So this is a project now in phases. And we need to be coming back to the board. It'll be in March for the phase 2 item regarding its construction and that process. So,
and to clarify,
no, there's
for
no time soon.
the executive committee and the community, what is in phase 1? I mean, I know
so
what to.
right, phase 1. So in order to do this in phases, you can only use a part of the building while you're trying to construct another part of the building. So we will only have access to a portion of the building, and then by building and safety code in the fire department, we can only have a temporary certificate of occupancy. So that will be up to 100 people in that phase 1 that we will have, and then we will have showers, and the restrooms will be temporary in order to serve that number of people. But we'll have the correct number of restrooms and showers that you need to serve that number of people. They'll be temporary outside of the facility. Everything, though, will be consistent with the management and operations and public safety plan that was adopted going to operate this shelter. So we will still be maintaining that. We will not have a full multi-service center in phase 1 because, again, we're limited on our space.
Okay.
There will be services that can be provided. It just won't be at a multi-service center.
Any questions from South County Roundtable or Fort?
Yeah, South County Roundtable, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's March 8th is our next meeting for South County Roundtable. March 10th. A lot of performance. It's
So-
gonna be very well coordinated.
So Julie, since you did bring it up, I will speak on behalf of ACCOC, that's the Association of California Cities of Orange County. They had a meeting yesterday where Supervisor Bartlett spoke, and they've got a series of meetings coming up that are divided into North, South, and Central County, and designed under what Susan's proposing as the service planning areas. And so Susan, I'm glad that you proposed that, and then ACCOC is coordinating the cities. We're all around that, I know.
We have one on
Newport
Monday
Beach,
the 6th.
Yeah, Newport Beach is hosting the.
Yeah, we want to clarify that these are for county departments, the city representatives in the south, central, and north cities, and then the service providers from the Continuum and from around the county that are serving homeless populations. It's an initial dialogue of those groups. They aren't public forums. It's not an educational forum by any stretch. What it is getting the cities, it's an engagement of the cities, all 34 of them, hopefully. But with the nonprofits, the faith-based groups that are working with the county resources, right? We've got homeless liaison officers, we've got law enforcement officers that are homeless liaisons in the municipalities, getting those groups around one table to map out where they are, what they're doing, and begin the intersection across these different diverse groups to get better coordination in a smaller setting.
So Dave, I know that's being hosted at your city.
Yeah, Monday the 6th.
We have Newport, Mission Viejo, and Anaheim hosting these currently.
On behalf of ACCOC.
Getting some good
RSVP required, invite required.
Wonderful. Army program, I know it's running. Any updates that we need to know?
No, Armory has been activated twice now for 24/7 operation. As you might know, the armories are with the California National Guard, so we're under a lease with them. They run roughly 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. under that lease, but we have the opportunity when there are extreme weather conditions to ask them to run 24/7. They have to staff it as the California National Guard, and then Mercy House obviously gets the volunteers for the program side of it. So they've been activated twice now during the last 2 extreme storms.
And still, the timing will be through end of March, mid-April?
Mid-April, there are some dark nights that the National Guard has right at the end of April. Unfortunately, but we're at their behest at being there. So our goal is to run through the absolute last time frame, which is April 15th.
Anything on?
I'm just looking forward to working within the new framework, and I'm hoping that all the people that would come to the IG3 and others will be even more excited about this path. I will be, absolutely.
Kim Gall, who served for Employee Group 4, we've not filled that position primarily because of these changes, but Karen, I know that it's been meeting and you have a handout in here about the RFP for the HMIS system. Do you want to address this?
Yeah, so, we've been meeting with the IG4 group for the last, oh gosh, I guess it's October or so, discussing, potentially changing the HMIS system. And with that, we now here's that proposed website and what we sent out, yesterday to the IG4 group and the EDs, a draft of the RFP. Some of the changes that have been made at the request of the 201C Board of Directors is that we had originally looked at just going out to 3 vendors, which was the current vendor and the 2 selected with LASA when they went out and did their RFP. My board felt very strongly that we needed to not pre-select a vendor and to go out to a wider group. So that's what the plan is on that. And then
How wide of a group, I mean, how many more vendors are there?
it's probably maybe 15, I would guess or so.
Me and provide support to coordinated entry as well as building points of accessibility for families to become accessed and understand the coordinated entry system and services and appropriate interventions for them. The thought is that we would launch a family assessment week the last week of May. We will do a lot of work in conjunction with 211. We've had a meeting with Kristen so far, and we'll have further discussions as to how we can integrate this effort into our current system. Again, the main goal is to open and build an infrastructure for family accessibility to be assessed in our current network, and also have a robust list of families that are assessed to identify the gaps in our current family system, and how we can make and build more capacity to better serve them. So more to come on that.
And just one final thing, I'm leaving on 3 months back. And hallelujah, I'm, the last day I'll be in the office is the 10th, so I will be.
Speaker, and Juanita has a timer. Many more speakers, we want to hear from everybody. So Juanita will just raise her hand when you get to 3 minutes.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Most people know me, but Jim does not. I'm the executive director of Build Futures. We take homeless youth 18 to 24 off the street, provide housing and supportive services. We house them the same day or within 24 hours. We have had a 20% increase each year in the number of kids coming and referred. They're all referred. We have a by name list of 132 we housed last year in 2015, and a by name list of over 100 we helped with diversion. The Department of Education in Orange County has, according to their statistics, over 2,500 homeless students turn 18 every year. So the numbers are huge of the need here to help these homeless youth. We're an all-volunteer organization with no funding, no public funding, so we desperately need your help. Thank you.
You know, with the intention of observing the time constraints here. First of all, National Homeless Persons Memorial Day, December 21st. We held an event just past, and it went really good. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to get help from others in other parts of the counties in order to draft resolutions within our city councils to observe December 21st as National Homeless Persons Memorial Day. So right now, I put in requests in Santa Ana, Anaheim, and Fullerton, and I'm hoping that people will step up in other parts of the county. I travel by bus, so it's gonna be difficult for me to hit all 34 cities, but anyways, with help, I might be able to do that. Quickly, in regards to what's going on at the riverbed, is that I find that it's kind of silly that we're seeing now people migrating to the west bank of the river. Okay, and that's the side of the river, if for those of you who are not aware of, is where the actual river trail is, where people use from the public to bike and walk and so forth. Okay, and so, I mean, what you're doing is we're displacing people from the east bank, which is not used entirely by the public at all, to the west bank, where there'll be a direct conflict with fight for public use of public space. Also, San Clemente with the SB2 thing that's going on down there, I just wondered that if the county isn't somehow accountable or responsible for making sure the cities are compliant with that. So, anyways, also, I wanted to mention the both the armories still not ADA compliant, still not having any facilities or venues in the near future that are going to be open. So, anyways, just wanted to point that out that discussion will begin once again on the ADA compliance. Okay?
What was your name again?
Tim Houchin.
Wherever you want to stand.
Wherever you wanna stand, Curtis.
Thank you.
It's our slogan.
Just project well.
Okay, my name is Curtis Gamble. I'm an activist for the homeless. I'm just gonna talk about three things real quick. I just lost a good friend. His name was Big James Mayfield. He was homeless. Him and I have been homeless for about 8 years. Anyway, James passed away due to probably heart problems, something like that. But also, I just want to show you a picture of him real quick. Okay. I just want to show you a picture so you can say bye to James. James loved all you guys, and he was an activist for the homeless. We mostly worked in the Fullerton area a lot. Anyway, also I want to talk about James and I had just settled a 3-year lawsuit against Fullerton on behalf of the homeless. We received $1 million on behalf for low income, no income housing for the homeless. And also they gave us $20,000 a piece. They also put public restrooms at the Fullerton Transportation Center. The city of Fullerton also, they gave us a proper zoning, because Fullerton had a about a year or two ago, they had 13,000 square feet. They had to be 1,300 feet away from schools or residents. So anyway, that made it difficult to get a shelter. So James and I removed all those obstacles. The other thing I want to talk about is the Kramer property, 1,000 North Kramer. The warehouse part of Kramer is 24,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet warehouse. It can be open today. And the reason that I'm saying that it can be open today is because the people in the Santa Ana riverbed, they're not waiting till tomorrow to move them out of the riverbed. They have no choice. That is their home. We voted, 700 church members voted to get that shelter for them. There is no more excuses. Just like you're going home today, I recommend that people start heading that way. That is their home, regardless. They have somewhere to go. I've been hearing a lot that they don't have anywhere to go. And I understand what they mean by they don't have anywhere to go, but they do. They have a home. I didn't go to every meeting so we can stand here today and say that they didn't have a home. They have a home. We want to probably put their stuff in storages. There's a storage 2 blocks away from that facility. All right? So, another thing too, up in Fullerton, we're working on trying to get Hunt Library to be a shelter. It's 10,000 square feet. The Armory is 7,000 square feet, and it's only 4 blocks away from there. The money that we're spending on the Armory, which is roughly somewhere around $1 million for 4 months, could be to that building. The city of Fullerton owns Hunt Library. There's no reason that the homeless people can't stay there. I'll pass out flyers in my first.
Thanks, James.
I was fortunate enough to have met Scott at another church meeting. My name is Matthew Skaggs. I'm the Director of Community Relations for County Church Ministries. It's a faith-based, nonprofit, it's not a church. You know, a lot of people say, well, where's the church? Even though I do work out of the church, which here in Orange. For about the last 2 years, I've been helping them, to organize, facilitate, various, degrees in helping the, homeless. And, I have put together a basic outline for, it's a update of what I gave you.
Which
You
I
know,
look forward to.
yeah, I'll give it to you, it seems like, I'm just gonna go over some of it, not all of it, because, you know, you don't need to be wretched. But anyways, basically, the proposal is that one way to, plan for this homeless issue is for the county of Orange to develop, as I call it, a fresh start program. At the time that I spoke to you, I call it safe zone, and of course, after a couple of weeks, after going several meetings, City of Anaheim, other meetings for different communities, it has a bad connotation, just the name alone, brings up the red flags, and so rather than get into that, I came up with the name of Fresh Start Program. That way it's brand new, it's fresh, and we don't have to drag old baggage. Based on, your recommendation, I said that it could be divided into 4 subdivisions, like you said last summer at a church meeting. But no, I think it's divided into 3, I believe, right? So basically, this plan is based on your ideas. Lou and Tim have also come up with some ideas, and I implemented all of these different things. But there's a lot, you know, to basically cover in this, you know, synopsis, but possibly we can talk about it further later. But basically, what these 4 divisions would be until permanent facilities to house, re-educate, evaluate, and generate a place to meet that meets federal funding guidelines to end homelessness in our cities. Part of the reason for the increase in homelessness, and this is just one of the causes, beginning in 2010, going through the year 2034, the American age group referred to as baby boomers will begin the process of retirement. And interestingly enough, that is the date that they noticed that there was a spike in homelessness. Oh, okay. So anyways, I will give you this, and it talks about that we have over 200, you know, what do you call it, agencies plus, and now these are only the big ones. There are some that only have like 10 people. I call these up. I every week, me, Lou and Tim, we give out food. We help them move from the riverbed. So as far as hands-on, I know firsthand of what's going on. You know, as far as administration, I also have about 3,000 corporations that we are working with. A couple of weeks ago, we partnered with Nestle. So, anyways, part of it is to incorporate and use corporate funding too.
Gotcha. Video guy now.
Yeah, I really appreciate your support and appreciate, you know, people that are helping with shelters. But the reality is that we have a crisis in hand. Me being out there, I mean, I get zero money. I'm not a nonprofit. I'm just an advocate that started helping the homeless a long time ago. Started going to board supervisors, especially going to the Anaheim council meetings because they're being treated like criminals. Criminalizing them has not worked. It actually has oppressed them. I've been asking for safe zones in between while they're waiting for housing because there's too many of us, thousands of them. You know, we see that happening in the riverbed. Now they're being evicted from there, which now they've gone to the other side. And it's just going to be about any time now. I've been trying to tell them to downsize on their stuff because they're going to be pushed from one end to the other, and they already know that. The state of emergency that we have now is that it's been growing on. We have a lot of disabled people out there. We have a lot of, veterans, And the thing is, people say they want to live that way. No, they don't want to live that way. There is no place. When they evicted them from the river bed, they said the courtyard, the armory. That's not options. I went to the courtyard's full. And yet, the cities are telling people to go to the courtyard. They don't want to go to the courtyard. They're not asking for much. And like Matthew said, safe zones kind of sounds like a bad word, but it's not about them being safe from the police. It's being safe from the criminal element that's out there that are preying on them. There's a girl that's Sarah. She has seizures a lot of times. She's been out there for years. She's been raped. She was pregnant. She lost her kid. She was married and her husband left her because of her mental state. There's a lot of issues out there that I see. And yeah, there are those who are drug addicts. And the thing is that the people that really need the help are being mixed up with them. And there is no affordable housing. People have vouchers for HUD and they can't get housing. So I mean, why are we talking about camping sites? And I know it's all the red tape, but we have to cut this red tape because it's gonna get worse. It already has gotten worse. But that's all I have to say, that, we need to do more. We can't drag this anymore. So we need that,
Thanks.
we need those safe zones.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.
Paul Hayek, did you see it?
On
And
the
what do you know
criminal
about the
location, the current grapevine I got from Mercy House is they're gonna close the armory mid-April, open Kramer. And we've been overloaded. And Sarah, I'll give you a phone number for her. I think she's regional, and she might be able to get handled by regional if she's regional. And I've also been asked by a group coming out of South County, Viejo, to maybe help set up a shelter down there. And we need new management at the one in Santa Ana. They don't know how to manage. They've had drugs in there, they've had a couple of deaths, suicides, whatever. No. And we've also had one hospital dump. And are you aware we've had 3 maternity cases dumped at railroad stations? 2 in LA, 1 in Orange. And they gave birth right there on the platforms. That's all I got to say.
Thanks for coming today, Paul.
Thank you, Bob.